This is an IDP center commonly known as Inda'atan in Qadamai Wayana sub-city, Maqala. The IDP center, its establishment preceded the mass displacement of Tigrayans from different corners of Ethiopia. IDPs here have sheltered at the center for more than 3 years, with no end in sight. They say the current crisis has further worsened conditions at the center, and that they have been overlooked by both aid organizations and the rest of the world. Abraha Kebeda was a resident of Haik in Amhara region. He says he had lived there for close to 5 decades. He says he had raised his children there and built a profitable business until almost 3 years ago, when a group of armed men started attacking Tigrayans in the area. Abraha says he was forced to leave behind all his belongings as he ran to save his life.
I was displaced from South Wallo, Haik in the Amhara region. I had been living there since 1976. I was a merchant. I had 8 houses and other belongings. I had a family there. My children were born and raised there.
Abraha says that before the start of the war, he had connection with his 3 sons in Addis Ababa and a daughter in Hausen, Tigrai. But now, because of the communications blackout, he doesn't know where his children are or whether they're alive or dead.
I'm here,
My 3 sons have graduated from university. After graduation, they had started working in Addis Ababa. I don't know if they are alive or not. My daughter also lived in Hausen at the start of the war. I heard that she was displaced from Hausen with her 3 children, but I couldn't find her. I don't know where she is and if she is alive or not.
Abraha says he often thinks of Des. He says the condition in the IDP camp have been unbearable. For months, IDPs at the center have received even a drop of aid.
Before the war, our government used to help us monthly. Now, we are forgotten. I'm not the only one who needs help here. We have elderly such as me, people with disabilities, bedridden, children and mothers. We all need help. We can't work and provide for ourselves. Even our skin shows how bad our living conditions are. Most of the time, I wish I was dead rather than suffering like this. But death doesn't come just because you call for it.
Abraha calls on the international community to stand with the people of Tigray. He says the world has to play its part to end the conflict and ensure that aid is able to reach Tigray.
World needs to know that we are suffering, starving and dying. The situation here is terrifying. Aid isn't coming into Tigray. Millions are at the brink of death as they have nothing to eat. The government of Ethiopia is working to wipe out Tigrayans from the face of the earth. We know there are international agreements to help citizens of the world in need, so the world must see us. They must help us.
There are more than 2.2 million IDPs in Tigray. Most were displaced from the western part of the region, and others, like Abraha, were displaced as a result of the violence perpetrated on Tigrayans across other corners of Ethiopia, all banished to a place where they can't access food aid or other basic services.